Welcome to Switzerland. Welcome to Lausanne, the Olympic capital, home of the third Winter Youth Olympic Games. This winter, Lausanne 2020 invites you to the stunning snowy landscapes of the Swiss Alps.
Bonjour, grüezi, guten Tag, buongiorno, hello. In January 2020, something very special will happen in the Olympic world. For the first time since 1948 in St. Moritz, the Games are coming back in the Swiss Alps. For the Lausanne 2020 Winter Youth Olympic Games. This means the most amazing Winter Olympic imagery against breathtaking alpine backdrops is guaranteed.
But also, these Games will be the first to take place in and around the Olympic capital, home of the IOC. They will be the first to be organized on the concept of the IOC's new norm and to apply some of the Agenda 2020 recommendations. These will be sustainable Games, and in many different aspects. One of them means that fans, athletes, officials and media will all be able to experience the famous and precise Swiss train system to get to and from venues. We will also innovate with a brand new format. We call it a two-wave system. We will have two groups of athletes coming and going one after the other, increasing the total number of participants without extra pressure on the host. We will innovate in terms of sports and disciplines too. In 2020, we are introducing ski mountaineering for the first time in the Olympic program, a spectacular sport in a spectacular setting once again. Many Olympic sports will introduce new disciplines, such as the 3x3 hockey tournament and the women's Nordic combine. All this in the first ever gender-equal Winter Youth Olympic Games. Let's take a look at where this will all happen. Lausanne, the Olympic capital, will be the heart of the Games. It will host the opening and closing ceremonies and competition in figure skating, short track and ice hockey.
Right where I'm standing now, in the new young center of Lausanne, le Quartier du Fort, we'll host the medal ceremony every evening. And just a few steps away from here, we'll have the main media center, welcoming the media from around the world, and also accommodating the International Broadcast Center on one of its floors.
All of this next to the new Olympic House, the wonderful new home of the IOC. The spectacular ring-shaped Youth Olympic Village, Vortex, will be the first to host all athletes under one single roof in the middle of a 30,000 students university campus. Lausanne 2020 will be the first binational Youth Olympics, with ski jumping, biathlon and Nordic combined events taking place in neighboring France, making the most of local solutions. Vallée-de-Joux will host cross-country skiing, where the sport has a long tradition. Resorts of Les Uns, Les Diablerets and Villars will be for alpine skiing, freestyle and ski mountaineering. Champéry in the Valais region is very well known in the curling world. And last but not least, St. Moritz, home of the 1928 and 1948 Winter Olympic Games and one of the most famous ski resorts in the world, will host two spectacular events. First, all sliding events will take place on the oldest and all-natural bobsleigh track in the world, the famous Olympia Bob Run. And second, the stunning landscapes of St. Moritz Frozen Lake will host speed skating, here too making smart use of local solutions.
The Youth Olympics are an incubator for the Games of tomorrow. For these young athletes, Lausanne 2020 will be their first steps on an Olympic stage, and we want that stage to be new as the Games continue to evolve. In the future, you will see many of our Lausanne 2020 athletes compete in the next Olympics, like Beijing 2022 and beyond. We are part of the next generation of Games, so come join us here in January in the Olympic capital for an experience you will never forget. See you in Lausanne!